Hey guys, it's me, Gabriel. Today I'm going to do a in-studio video. I saw a few artists doing this on YouTube and I thought, wow, it's a really cool way to bring the artist closer to his or her fans. Also, it just kind of allows me to sort of communicate the things that I don't usually get much room to communicate on an album or time to communicate during a show. So I'm going to introduce to you some songs, or a song. There will probably be a follow-up video to this with another song in it, which is why I used plural for songs. But this first song that I'm going to introduce to you is from the new album. The new album is titled Selah. Selah is a term found in the Bible, mostly in the Psalms. It's also found 2 or 3 times in Habakkuk, the book of Habakkuk. And so the Psalms, at the end of a verse, oftentimes you will see this big escalation in power and just and how David is speaking and how he's just so excited about something or so emotional about something, and then right at the end of that phrase it'll say Selah, and that Selah means to to pause and think about what was just said. And I thought to myself, man, that's really cool, because we need to do that not just for those verses in the Bible, but for our everyday life. Even if we don't do it every day, we need to dedicate some time once in a while to just pause and think about what's been going on, about, you know, even if it's just pausing and thinking about, wow, look at those trees and how green they are. Look at the birds living in them. You know, that's definitely bigger than you or I. So pausing and maybe thinking about that, or just pausing and thinking and allowing God to speak through you or speak to you about something. So that's really what this whole album is about, because that's what all of the songs are me taking a moment to just pause, think, and express about things that I was going through, and things that I've been going through. So that was why I chose the word Selah, and I don't think there's anybody else that's used that particular title for an album. I could be wrong, but the song that I'm going to introduce to you is called Back Together Again, and it is a great example of the rest of the songs on the album, because the title sounds a lot like I'm referring maybe to a woman or you know, a particular person in my life, and that's actually not the case. These songs they're titled for that reason. I want this album to be very versatile for everybody, all listeners, and so the titles kind of lead you to maybe think that, oh, he must be talking about a girl. Actually, for me, these songs reflect my relationship with God and my spiritual relationship, and how it's grown, and the times that I've really taken a Selah moment to think about what God has taught me or what He's trying to teach me. So for me, it's more of a spiritual thing. For others, it may be about that special person, and that's totally fine. That's why I did it this way, to reach everybody. So like I said, the title is Back Together Again, and for me, this particular song is about, it's really about that moment where you're not so sure that you're going to make it through something, because it's a domino effect, and everything, just one bad thing happens after another, and then that leads into another thing, and that leads into another thing, and pretty soon you feel like you're about at rock bottom, and you're at the end of your wits, and you don't know what to do, and you're just crying out for help, crying out for love, and crying out for maybe even forgiveness. But it's that moment when you have something happen, or something happens to you, or something is said to you that makes you realize, you know what, this isn't over. I still have a fighting chance, and this has just been a learning experience, and now you're starting to feel like everything is coming back together again. So it's about that exact moment, and a lot of these songs are about just a very minute moment in time, and it's a very interesting way to write songs. Usually songs are about a whole story, but all of these songs, minus a few tracks, are just kind of for fun. Like there's a track on there called Chips and Salsa, and it's just me bringing back a song that I had from when I was in high school back in 2003. So anyway, most of the songs are about a very minute moment in time when I realized something, or when I took that Selah moment and something occurred to me. So with that being said, I really hope you enjoy these tracks. One other thing I wanted to say, the influences for this album they're much more narrowed down. As you guys, those of you who bought the album know from the Notes for Life album, there's a whole, on the insert, on the left inner side, there's a list of inspirations for the album. Thelonious Monk, my man Thelonious Monk, Brian Culbertson, Ramsey Lewis, Marcus Johnson, Marcus Miller, Dave Koz, Richard Elliott, Jesse J, 480 East, Incognito, Louis Jordan, and the Timpani Five, and of course God. Those were the inspirations for the Notes for Life album. This album really has only two inspirations, and it's the second and fourth inspiration on this album. Brian Culbertson is the number one. Marcus Johnson is the number two, and it's really funny because geographically, Brian Culbertson's on the West Coast and Marcus Johnson's on the East Coast, and Marcus Johnson is a much more groove-based artist. His grooves are so rich. It's really hard not to tap your foot to his stuff. Brian Culbertson, on the other hand, is much more melodic. He really knows how to make the piano sing. And so I'm really trying to be the middle ground between those two in this album. And it really hasn't been something I've had to work at or anything. It's just kind of naturally happened that way because I'm very sensitive to the kind of music that I listen to, and it very much so influences me in the way that I play. So these tracks on this album, Selah, are much more heavy in groove, much more heavy in big chords, and they're very colorful chords and very melodic, like Brian Culbertson and Marcus Johnson. So it's funny because they're both on opposite coasts, and I'm here in the Midwest, and so not only geologically am I trying to, or geographically am I trying to combine the two and be the middle ground, but also musically I'm trying to be that middle ground. So anyway, enough talking. I hope that you enjoy this track. Like I said, it's called Back Together Again. for listening, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Have a blessed day.